Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. So today is February 2nd, which comes after a very, very long month of January. Has anyone ever noticed that January, like some months are 28 days, some are 30, some are 31. January is 736. Okay, it's not just me. Okay. So today's February 2nd. Now, with that comes several events today. The groundhog, good news, spring is coming. Good job, Rat, good job. And I had to break it to my daughter, Caroline, so Ted, you better watch yourself because she might be coming for you. She was like, why don't we have a groundhog? And I was like, funny story, we did. And we trapped it. And she was like, wait, who did that? I said, Ted Sheets did that. It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. She's like, wait. And I was like, yeah, take it up with Ted. Ted did that. So Groundhog Day, what up with that? Also today is Palindrome Day. Yeah. February 2nd, 2020. Write it out. Turn around. Yeah. You didn't know that one, did you? You're like, we knew the other ones, Meg, but, and also Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys heard, but Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. So that's cool. So lots of different things today. It's also the presentation of Jesus at the temple. But I'm not going to preach about that either. I know, you guys are like, so what are you going to talk about, Meg? I taught you about the palindrome. You guys didn't know today was a palindrome, so that's really probably the most that you're going to get out of me today. Anyway, also, the Beatitudes. We're going to talk about the Beatitudes because here's the deal. People are always like, there are all sorts of rules to be a Christian, right? And you need to do these things to be a Christian. No, would you like to know? Jesus was very explicit about how to be a Christian. It's the Beatitudes, but they're hard. So nobody really wants to be a Christian, so we come up with other rules. Because, have you read the Beatitudes? Don't nobody want to live the Beatitudes. So we do other things like confessions of faith. Don't you worry about nobody else. Let's worry about the Beatitudes, shall we? Because the Beatitudes are hard. So that's what we're going to preach about today because we know Patrick Mahomes is coming home with we know what. And you now know that today's palindrome, and you know that the rat has told us that spring is coming. Good news for all, right? Beatitudes, hard news for all. Okay, so what do we do with the Beatitudes, right? Here is what I'm going to tell you. Being a Christian is not easy. We're not called to what is easy. And what I will also tell you is something that I have said again and again and again in sermons. If you struggle with Scripture, wrestle with it until you receive a blessing. And that is what I'm going to say is the most important lesson in life and one that we all need to hear again and again and again. If things are hard, if you're scared, wrestle, lean into your fear, because in that fear comes blessing. The Beatitudes are hard. And you want to know why they're hard? For the exact same reason that no Christian church who believes in confessions of faith says anything about the Beatitudes. Because they're countercultural. Because they're hard, they're not fun, and they will not make you popular. You know what will make you popular? Convincing people to hate other people. It's true. It's true. If I wanted to get really, really super popular, I would tell you all the reasons that you should dislike everyone else who is not like me. that will make me popular. And frankly, it will be a lot easier. I can tell you all the reasons why you should like me better than them. Because I can tell you all the things that are wrong with them. But what if that's not what we're called to do? What if what we're called to do is be better ourselves? Oof, that's hard. And it's uncomfortable. And that's why Jesus says the Beatitudes. They were no more popular then than they are now. They will get you killed. It's true. And he comes to the end and he's like, rejoice and be glad. You know none of those disciples were rejoicing. Nobody is rejoicing when they hear things like, blessed are the peacemakers. Don't nobody want to be no peacemaker? Have you ever looked at the funding mechanisms of nations? Peacemaking, not where the money goes. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Nobody wants to hunger and thirst for righteousness. That's stupid. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Ugh. Blessed are those who mourn also. Ugh. I mean, really, none of these are good. You don't want people to revile you and persecute you. That's awful, too. Yeah, really, none of these do you want. And yet, here's what I'm going to tell you that I think we need to hear today is we are not called to be comfortable. We are not called to be popular. We are not called for things to be easy. And yet, we as Christians, we as humans seek those things, right? Has anyone ever noticed that growth never comes out of what makes you comfortable? You know what comes out of things that are comfortable? Atrophy. Anyone's doctor, you ever go to the doctor for your checkup? And you're like, you should work out less. I mean, clearly you're working out too well. Your muscles looking too good, heart's too strong. So maybe just sit on the couch some more. Anyone ever had that conversation with a doctor? If you had, I will go see your doctor. Because I like your doctor better than my doctor. Already. No. Anyone's doctor ever been like, okay, it's probably really time for you to join a gym. Have you considered weight training? Have you considered Pilates? It's great. More likely you've had that conversation. Which one of those things is comfortable? Which one do you want to hear? I want to hear, high five, Meg. Maybe don't worry so much about a healthy diet. Maybe don't worry so much about exercise. Because you want to know what? Laziness is nice. I like it. Anyone else feel the same way? Okay, God knows that we feel that way, and God knows we shouldn't go in that direction. And that's why we need the Beatitudes, because we need to be reminded again and again and again what makes us uncomfortable is time to lean in. What scares us the most is time to lean in. When we are wrestling the hardest and struggling the most, we're called to that. And what I will tell you again and again and again, and I bet you if you take a few minutes to consider your own life, that when you were at your best, you felt like you were at your worst. All the best things in life come through discomfort and stretch. We are called to be uncomfortable. Being a Christian is not easy, and it's not comfortable, and I'll tell you what else. It's countercultural, and that's why the world doesn't want us to do it. Because it will not make you popular. And when we're doing it, it makes other people really uncomfortable too. Because what if they're called to love everyone else too? What if we're called to worry less about how other people are doing and more about how we're doing? What if we are called to love the people that we don't understand and they make us feel uncomfortable? What if we're supposed to do that? Ew! That's as uncomfortable as any of these Beatitudes. You want me to love everybody? Like, everybody? Yeah, everybody. Everybody? Yeah, everybody. But what about, no, them too. What about, no, especially them? Oh. That is what these Beatitudes are all about. They're all about calling us to true Christian faith. And that's hard, folks. It is super, super hard. And when you come into a decision in your life and you're really stretched and you're really groaning because you're not sure what to do, don't run from that. Do not run from that decision, because those decisions are where you and I are called most strongly. We are called to wrestle with our discomfort. We are called to lean in when we are afraid. Those are the moments when we are called most strongly. You want to know how many people heard these Beatitudes and walked away and said, this is not for me? There are really cool gods who come with really good food and have really sweet temples. Guys, there are really cool gods in our world that come with really good food and really sweet temples. And it's way easier to stay away from the things that scare us. It is way easier to avoid the people that make us uncomfortable. So much easier, isn't it? And we're so drawn to it. But you and I are not called to easy. We are not called to atrophy. We are called to change. We are called to courage. We are called to different. So today, I tell you, as hard as it is to hear Jesus say this, rejoice. Because here's the good news. And there's always good news. The gospel is literally good news, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like it's good news. Sometimes good doesn't feel good. Sometimes good hurts. But good brings growth. So here's the good news that I'm going to tell you. We come from a long line of generations of people who said, you know what? No, I'm not going to take the easy way out. No, I'm not going to get on board with that. I will stand up and I will say no. We come from a long line of prophets, a long line of martyrs, a long line of courageous, incredible people. And if you can't find joy in that, I don't know what good news to give you. Besides, avocados were on sale at Hy-Vee this week. Literally 33 cents for an avocado. That's a great deal. So, here's the good news. You come in a long line of powerful, awesome, amazing people who've wrestled with all these things too. Rejoice and be glad. You are not alone. Also, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We
want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
And I grew up on a farm. We're going to get another groundhog.